Studio Fabricana. I'm Miles, and today we're going to talk about piping. Piping is a type of trim made out of bias with a fill cord inside of it. It can be sold by the meter like this, or you can buy it pre-packaged like this. But if you come across a situation where you want to make your own custom piping, you can do that as well. Simply take a fabric of your choice, a fill cord, and you can end up making a customized piping such as this. We're going to go through step by step on how to do this, so let's get started. So what we've done first of all is take our 0.6 of a meter of fabric, or 24 inches, and we've squared it up. So all of the corners are nice right angles. The next thing we're going to do in order to cut our first diagonal line, because we're going to cut all of our strips on the bias, we're going to bring one corner and line up our selvage with our long cut edge. So this diagonal line that's formed becomes our first cutting line. And what we need to do is indicate the corner with a pin. We open our fabric back out, and we know that we need to draw a line from the pin to the opposite corner. If you don't have a ruler that's long enough to go from the corner to the pin, simply use two rulers side by side to create the distance you need. Using chalk, mark that first line. Again, we're all working on the diagonal. And continue that line to your pin. So once we've cut this triangle off, the best thing to do is to use this as a pattern now for the other end of our fabric. So simply lift your big triangle, line it up on your fabric, and then you can simply use that as a guide to cut the next triangle. The next step is to mark the cutting lines for our strips. It's very important that the lines run parallel to the bias, i.e. where you've cut off your triangles. The reason for this is that the bias has a natural give to it that will help you go around curves and corners. You'll notice that the crosswise grain will always have less give to it. In order to join all of our strips together, we need to sew our straight grain edges together. This looks kind of tricky with this shape, but basically what we need to do is take the bottom edge and move it up to our top edge. And we're going to pin them together. Now note, we're going to pin them together offsetting the edge by the width of one strip. And also, we're going to be matching this point here where we're actually sewing. I'm going to stick a pin here, and then at the other end I'm going to stick another pin, but again we're going to be offsetting it by the width of one bias strip, and not at our cut edge, but at the actual point where we're going to be sewing. Then you'll place more pins between the two pins along the whole part where we're going to sew. finished piping, ready to be stitched into a handbag or a pillow. Join us for a follow-up video on how to apply piping, and thank you so much for joining us at Studio Fabricana, and we'll see you next time.